Okay, so can you all put your other things away, please, so that you can pay attention to Leo? Yeah, that includes you. Please put that upside down somewhere.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about haiku, which is a special form of Japanese poem. I will start by talking about what haiku is, its forms and characteristics, and then we'll go on to talk about how to appreciate the beauty of haiku and show you some masterpieces of haiku. Then we'll lead you into a discussion of these masterpieces. After the appreciation of haiku, I will try to explain how to write haiku in English and give you some time to write your haiku. So let me start with what haiku is. Simply speaking, haiku is a very short form of Japanese poems. It only has 17 syllables arranged in 5-7-5 sequence in 3 lines. We can see from this example that each red character here represents 1 syllable in Japanese. And this arrangement of haiku of syllables actually has a very deep root in the Japanese language. It is said that Japanese language, when read in this way, is more powerful and attractive. So when we write haiku in English, we don't care much about this rule because it is quite relatively difficult to control English in the same way, and English doesn't have the same expression as Japanese. So in a nutshell, haiku is a very short form of poem that is from Japan. Now that I have talked about the form of haiku, let me move on to the characteristics of haiku. One of the most important characteristics of haiku is that it is a very tiny poem full of love and respect to nature. Just as the master Matsuo Basho has said, go to the pine if you want to learn about the pine. Go to the bamboo if you want to learn about the bamboo. We can see from this quoting that Matsuo Basho is very humble and respective to the nature. However, in expressing this love and respect of nature, we must refrain from, we must not express our love and respect to nature directly. We must make us feel that the nature is lovely and respectful. It is a failure if we read something like this in a haiku. Oh, how lovely it is. It is a failure of this poem. We must make it beautiful. Oh, sorry. We must make this poem beautiful instead of say it is beautiful. Let's look at a successful example of haiku. Underneath the eaves, a blooming large hydrangea overbrims its leaves. Let me explain a little. Underneath simply means under. The eaves means the ceiling of the house. Hydrangea is the flower we can see here, and overbrims means it is more abundant than something else. So we can see from this little haiku that it describes a scene that is very colorful, just like a very thick oil painting. We can see vitality and life in this haiku, but the poem itself doesn't say it explicitly or directly. So that is a very successful example of haiku. Then let's try to appreciate more the beauty of haiku and see more masterpieces of haiku. This poem is maybe the single most famous poem in Japanese. An old pond, a frog jumps in, the sound of water. And first sight, this poem seems to be very simple. It seems to be the work of a maybe 10 years old child. But if we keep in mind that the point of haiku usually say something without saying it directly, we need to look deeper at this poem. An old pond, reminds us of a very long time and the silence. Then a frog appears and breaks this silence by jumping. So it is then the sound came. So then if we think further, we can imagine that after this sound, the eternity and the silence will return. So we can see in these 3 lines, Master Basho successfully integrated eternity and transient, which means a very long time and a very short time, and silence and sound very successfully in this poem. That is the beauty of this poem. Let's look at further to more haikus. Kobayashi, Isai, and Yosabusen are also very successful masters of haiku. The first haiku of Isai is snow melting, the village is full of children. And second is, even when the heart is slowly dying, the flowers still bloom. And Yosabusen seems to be very fond of sushi, so he wrote, at the over-matured sushi, the master is full of regret. And second one is, pressing sushi, after a while, a lonely feeling. I think this poem is very familiar to us, because as foreign students here, we don't need to press sushi to feel lonely. Now let's have a discussion on this masterpieces of haiku. These are the questions for the discussion, and you can talk about any other related topics. So we can start the discussion.
Divide into small
Yeah,
groups.
into small groups.
As we like.
Yes.
How many people?
3 people in a group. Herbert can join in this.
What do you like haiku?
Plain words, think a lot.
Are you in our group?